One of these players is strafing using snaptap and the other one is an average professional player. Can you tell me which one's which? So was snaptap overrated? If you're unaware, this is TLDR on what this is. If you press two keys of opposing direction on the keyboard without snaptap, you would just stop. However, with snaptap, your first key press gets ignored and second key press overrides it, so you instantly change direction of movement. Wooting also implemented the same feature, calling it Rappy Snappy. The recent news about SOCD made a lot of impact on Counter-Strike world, both amongst pro players but also casuals. People claim the game to be literally pay to win, as you could purchase a keyboard that would make counter-strafing easier for you. Very soon this became a very controversial issue and no one knew how it is going to unfold. However, Valve made a clear stance and decided to ban this, and if you try to connect to the server with SOCD enabled, you will just be simply kicked and warned to reconnect without it. Is snaptap really that impactful as people claim? Opinions on the internet were torn. Some players and prominent figures claimed it to be a game changer, while others barely noticed any difference. What if I told you both of these groups were right? So let's talk about early releasers and late releasers. This made me obviously look into my own statistics of an official match that I played with my team, and I found out that despite not using a snaptap, my strafes looked really good. Maybe too good. I thought that might have been an accident, but further tests showed me that similar numbers in every game I play. I obviously practice counter-strafing, but not to the extent that I should be so much better compared to other players. So my friend and previous teammate Zero developed a program to see what is really going on. We realized that while the majority of players fail at perfect counter-strafing because they release the opposing key just a fraction of a second too late, I am the exact opposite. I release it a bit too early. This is a rare instance, but I'm not alone. Data we found show that multiple pro players such as Bit or JDC are just like me. This is exactly the reason why the community was so divided on snaptap. Snaptap only helps players who are late releasers, so it had little to no impact on me and players like me. If I wanted to benefit from snaptap, I would literally have to relearn my counter-strafing and delay it, so I became late releaser instead. But now there is no need, as snaptap is banned. The good part of this short-lived snaptap era is that it made me and many other competitive players think about their counter-strafing more. Before, no one really considered strafing performance as something relevant because we had no way of evaluating it. It was all based on feeling, muscle memory that was gained over time while playing the game. Until now, Zero's tool allows us to find out how good our strafing is and if we would benefit from a feature like snaptap. The short answer would be that if you are early releaser like myself, no, you wouldn't benefit from it almost at all. If you're a late releaser, then yes, you would. To find out what group you fall into, you can download PatrikZero's Strafe Evaluator, linked in the description. You simply install it and launch it. It starts monitoring your strafe straight away. You will see three main sections. So the first one is the statistics of your current run. Second one is visual showcase of your inputs in A and D, and third one is history of recent strafes on the bottom. If you still get confused about what is a late or early release, try hovering your mouse over the A and D section. Three buttons will appear that animate what each strafe type looks like. This will determine if you have a weakness. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say I'm sure that you are not aware, since I'm a pro player and I didn't know I was an early releaser that gets no overlap on A and D keys during strafing. Knowing this weakness, you can start improving it using the Strafe Evaluator. You can actually practice strafing to get as close to perfection as possible just by being aware of the timing if you should focus on releasing first input key a bit earlier or later. Getting perfect strafe in CS is not humanly possible every single time. It was possible only by external help of snaptap. Hence, banning it is, in my opinion, justified. What Valve can't ban ever is your skill and effort you put into practicing this movement technique, which went unnoticed for many years until now, when keyboards wanted to correct human error that we have developed over time. We have all developed it. pro players included. That is why this conversation might actually be a blessing in disguise, and thanks to tools like the ones we present to you in this video, you can work on a mechanic that was always considered a feeling based in the past. So feel free to let me know how you feel about the stance that Valve took, and if you think that having hardware that is somehow helping or correcting human error is a valid thing to have in games. It is definitely an interesting debate, and before we end this video, let's get back to that clip from the beginning. Can you now guess which player had the perfect strafes and which included human error of 30 milliseconds, which are close to most pro players? If you guessed it correctly, congrats. If you somehow spotted it, even bigger congrats. See you in the next video. Huge shout out to my Ko-fi members for your continual support so I can make videos like this for you. And you should be seeing their names on the screen right now, and if you want to appear here too, please do check my Ko-fi page where you can gain tons of cool and exclusive perks at various tiers of membership. And when I say cool and exclusive, I truly mean it. Go check it out. It's worth it, I promise. Thank you for making my content better and possible.